at Findlay Market.
And if you take a look at how many people are lining the streets, we talk about this every year because it is just unfathomable. It's not one person deep or two. This is like 9, 10 people deep, and this is just the beginning. And one of the coolest things about the opening day parade is when the crowd starts to thin out a little bit, you think, oh, there's no more crowd. And then it opens up again like a sea of red.
So they estimated last year on the 1.4 mile route of the parade that there were 130,000 people lining the streets of Cincinnati to watch the opening day parade and get ready for baseball in Cincinnati.
And as I was making my way to this location, I walked probably like 10 blocks. At 10:30, I couldn't believe the number of people who are already lined up grabbing the best seat in the house.
You know what's cool?
Yep.
Is because we always refer to opening day as a holiday, right?
Yeah.
And when you have holidays, you say Merry Christmas to somebody or
Happy Opening Day.
New Year.
Yeah.
When you walk the streets,
Happy
you
Opening
have
Day.
something to say to strangers. And to me, as someone who's still somewhat uncomfortable sometimes with small talk, when you see someone and you say Happy Opening Day, it kind of starts a conversation a little bit. It's also a way to say goodbye. We'll have a great opening day as well.
Correct.
A lifetime dream of mine growing up and doing what I'm doing now. George Grand was the voice of the Reds for so long in Cincinnati. And one year when I was just starting my career, George Grand came up to me and said, Happy Opening Day.
How about that?
And that made my life, to have George Grand say Happy Opening Day. So now every time I see someone on opening day, I say Happy Opening Day. It is a Cincinnati holiday, and you get to celebrate with us.
Listen to these engines of the Cincinnati police officers all revving up right here at the start of where the parade kicks off. And you mentioned Jim Scott Way. I think that was one of the classiest things ever done in the city of Cincinnati, was to name that in honor of Jim Scott, right where it was as well. And even being sick last year, he was still given the thumbs up that entire way. He became a champion for ALS, and he never looked at his disease, his impairment, as a poor me. He wanted to raise awareness and raise funds for it to fight it.
Jim Scott had a long history on the radio here in Cincinnati, Ohio. But he also had a long connection with the opening day parade, walking in 54 of them, and took a ride last year in a car because of ALS. But he still showed up.
He did.
And as George Foster said, he still showed out.
Yes,
right?
yes, he did.
And that's the great thing about the parade, too. It's guys like Jim Scott. It's the celebrities we'll see throughout the day. We had George Foster up here in the pre-parade show. You're going to see Cincinnati Bengals on floats. You're going to see current Reds players. Some of the biggest names in our city, in our region, want to be a part of this because they feel so much a part of our community.
When I reached out to George Foster about doing that, I talked to Vicky, his wife, and as soon as I said, be on set with us on opening day, yes, because everybody wants to be a part of this. It is fantastic.
And I was talking with Gabby Sorrentino, who's a new member of our sports department, and she said she was at opening day in St. Louis, a big baseball town too. They have nothing like this.
No one does it like us.
Nobody.
And George mentioned it too. For the longest time, even when I was growing up, Cincinnati was always the first game. It wasn't just always opening day in Cincinnati.
No.
Cincinnati, by being the oldest franchise, always had the first pitch of the baseball season. I might know some people we can talk to try to get that tradition back, because they're starting a game up in New York an hour before the Reds this year, which I don't like.
I don't like it at all.
I don't like it at all, ever, but we'll see if we can get that changed and bring first pitch back to Cincinnati where it should be.
Well, as you're watching the parade get underway, you actually heard Rozzie's fireworks, and then the Cincinnati Police Honor Guard leading the parade, followed by the U.S. Army Reserve Command Band, the 338th. And then you're going to see the Cincinnati Fire Department and their huge truck, which is overflowing in a sea of red. Look at that.
And as we mentioned, the Cincinnati Police Department led off this parade. We heard from Chief Teresa Thigi yesterday, and she says the opening day parade is the favorite part of opening day for her.
That's awesome.
And I think a lot of people would agree.
One of my favorite parts of the opening day parade is when Rob gives his history lessons, and he'll do that throughout the show, because this guy, Tricia and I are from here. You know more about the history of Cincinnati, I feel like, than I do, which I think is a testament to you and how much you've embraced your new town.
Yes, correct, because the history of Cincinnati is so rich, and it goes back so far, and it's like one of the biggest cities to ever start after the Civil War. We have a place in history, and it's part of baseball history as well.
When I watch this parade, it's funny because we're all through different lenses, right? I agree, because you hold on to little nuggets like to nobody I've ever met, right? You're like Rain Man, Cincinnati. I look through this lens as kind of like still the little girl.
Sure.
Like, I'm so excited on opening day, and I look around like, oh, that's so cool. Look at that, so cool. And the fact that we're a part of it is just phenomenal.
And I look at it as a guy who thinks the Reds can do something special this year. They have all this star power of Ellie De La Cruz and Matt McClain and Hunter Green, and I can name all of these players that should take the Reds to the next level, and this is the start of it, right? The excitement from here carries down to Great American Ballpark and maybe uplifts the team today to get win number 1 on the season. A different lens would be Reagan Holgate, who was experiencing her first ever opening day parade here in Cincinnati. She's on the streets with the fans. Let's toss it down to Reagan and her perspective of the opening day parade. Yeah, well, you know what? Sometimes the first hit doesn't go so great, but we'll come back to Reagan, and I want to make sure we get her perspective here throughout the show. We also have Ken Baker on the road as well, working the floats and working the people along the path here, but we're going to look at some more of these folks who are coming through here on the opening day parade, and we always sprinkle in some new each and every year on the parade route, but what makes the parade so great in Cincinnati is all the tradition and all the floats and all the faces we see year after year that come back and want to be a part of it again.
So we should mention that the Cincinnati Reds, the oldest professional baseball team in the country. We also should mention that the Cincinnati Fire Department is the oldest paid fire department in the country.
See, there he goes.
That's Cincinnati's place in history.
That's already like 3.
We're the first in so many areas.
We should create like a nugget tracker of how many times Rob gives us.
It should be like a ding. It should be like a ding.
There
every
it is.
Single time.
Rob
every
just
single
hit
time.
us again. Did you mention you want us to head back down to Reagan? Okay, Reagan is ready. Let's check back in now with Reagan Holgate on the parade route.
Okay, Joe, thanks so much. And look, I was just laughing a few minutes ago because my friend Kabir here, he just said, I didn't realize the Reds actually played a game today. He just thought opening day was all about this parade. Can you just tell me how excited you are to be here, to watch these floats that are about to come down here right now?
It's fun. I really like it, and I've been doing this since I was 3 years old, and it's amazing.
What's your favorite thing?
When the Reds thing, like the big Reds thing float in the air, the mascot. Yeah, that's my favorite thing.
Do you have a favorite player?
Ellie De La Cruz.
Obviously, right? He's the best.
Yes.
How many bases is he going to steal this season?
He going to steal around like 200.
Oh, okay, that's a lot. Thank you so much. And also I have Katie here with me too. You were just telling me, you know, there's so much excitement, of course, around opening day. You've been coming forever. This is actually my first. Can you just kind of put into words what this day means to Cincinnati?
It's such a good family thing. Every single year we get together and everything. I see my grandma, my cousins, everything. It's a really great Cincinnati event. It's fun to see pretty much the whole city take off for a day and hang out. It's just a great time.
So you weren't hearing it in my ear, but I was, and our anchors were saying nobody does it like Cincinnati. Is this true?
I have not lived in any other city, and I've been doing this my whole life, but I definitely think so. I don't think there's many other places. Pretty much everyone takes the day just to celebrate and enjoy your city.
Okay, best part of a day like today?
I'm a big hot dog person when it comes to baseball stuff, so that and getting together with family would definitely be my top.
This is random, but what are the condiments on a hot dog? What are we putting on it?
Okay, so very weird. My favorite's cream cheese, but that's not a baseball thing, so at a baseball game, just ketchup.
The cream cheese. Kind of
it's
concerning,
a popular thing. It's a popular thing. I think it's a St. Louis dog.
Sure.
It's the dog of St. Louis. It's a pretty good condiment.
I don't think Cincinnati does it like that. Katie, thank you so much for joining us.
Yep.
Enjoy today.
Yep.
Guys, take it away.
I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna diss it. I'd like to try it.
Okay.
You're a mustard kind of guy.
Mustard,
You're
Same. Mustard only.
I'm a ketchup only.
Oh.
Ketchup only.
Really?
Yes. Every now and then, like some relish, or if you, like at the Chicago style.
Sure.
That's good stuff.
That's like a meal in itself.
It
That's
is.
not even a
Agreed.
hot
Yeah.
dog. That's
You know,
a
we were
meal.
talking a little bit earlier about the food that is at the Great American Ballpark now, which is unbelievable because really, you go, I'm kind of like a peanut and hot dog kind of person. And to have like the gourmet meals, you can actually feed the family pretty nice.
Well, and Joe, back me up on this. I think the one thing that the Reds do well is that they always keep the fan experience
Correct.
in mind,
They
right?
adapt.
Yep.
They add every single year. The ballpark is gorgeous in
Yeah.
itself, and it looks new. You wouldn't think it's 22 years old, opened in 2003. But every year they add something different to the fan experience, and I think you have to do that because the modern sports event goer isn't there just for the game. They're there for the event.
What's the ad
and
this year?
especially baseball. The new food.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a lot of new food.
Yeah.
You know what I haven't tried there? The fry box. Everybody talks about the fry box. It's a box of fries, and I think you can get a bunch of stuff on top of it.
Really?
I've never tried it. I just eat whatever they have up in the press room, which is usually a hot dog or some, or some peanuts.
Yeah, right.
Here's a question for you. A lot of times, stadiums and ballparks don't last that long before new technology comes along. That ballpark is 22 years old. It's still a great experience. Why do you think that is?
Because I think the way they constructed it was a feel of old, but still is new. The idea of this being a ballpark, not a stadium.
Sure.
It's a smaller. It's only 44,000 people that can go to the games. It's not this monstrosity. And the fact that it's situated where it is, and I think the fact that it faces the river, it has the great view, and then they add every year to the experience, I think makes it feel like it's new every single year. There was some list that came out
It was
the
last
last
night.
couple of weeks that I don't know if we're looking at the same list that kind of dissed Great American Ballpark, had it in the 20s. I said, come back. We'll take you on a tour, and we'll bump this thing back into the top 10 where it deserves to be.
So after that list came out, USA Today came out with another list and put Cincinnati number 9 out of all the stadiums.
Where it should be.
Not just ballparks, but out of all the stadiums in the country.
All the stadiums. Okay, so now you're talking.
Correct.
Because I've been to most of them, and the football stadiums, those get outdated really quickly because they're monstrosities.
Correct.
But baseball ballparks can last a long time. Generations. Fenway Park, Wrigley Field. Great American Ballpark could be here for generations.
Because the fan is close to the action on the field.
Correct.
And it wasn't that way at Riverfront.
And they also change and adapt to make sure the fan experience is different every single year. Hey, look, Gapper's on the way.
Hey, guys.
Okay,
now,
so here comes the PNC float, and you're seeing Gapper. And Gapper is one of the several mascots for the Cincinnati Reds. I feel like kids really get to experience a baseball game through their own lens. And my kids, when they went there, they always wanted a picture with Gapper. I wanted a picture with Mr. Red.
Me too.
The kids wanted
So did I,
Gapper.
yeah.
But that's because we're a little bit more old school.
Well,
than
and even
the
when they
kids.
brought along Rosie Red, I love Rosie Red.
Yeah.
I love being in the middle of both of them. I think it's just fantastic. And then Gapper, what just a great addition.
And we see all the kids along the parade route, and Reagan was talking to a lot of the kids. Okay, I'm from Cincinnati. My parents never let me get out of school.
So here's my
come to the opening day parade.
Here's my question for you.
Yeah.
If your kids came up to you and said, because his dad never let him ditch school to come to opening day.
Correct.
My question for you is, if your kids came to you and said, we want to go to opening day, would you allow them to ditch school?
What do we always say? Leave it better for the next generation, right? So I would have loved to have come to the opening day parade. So yes, if my kids asked, I would let them come to the opening day parade, but they've never asked.
Do you guys hear that? Joe's kids, if they're listening, they should ask next year.
Well, I think my two oldest should be home soon, and I think they might have this on DVR.
Okay.
And they can go back and watch this and now have it for posterity.
My kids of all ages, even when they were super small, walked in this parade with us here at Fox 19. It was fantastic, and I have all of those photos and all of those memories, and I love the fact that 20 years down the road, my kids are going to have that memory of them kind of skipping school. Nowadays, what you have to worry about is the selfie that you're going to put on social media if you skip work.
Okay, so here comes the Grand Marshal, Chris Sabo, Spuds from the 1990 World Series champion Reds. Ken Baker is on the parade route with Chris Sabo. Let's toss it down to Ken.
Chris Sabo, how do you feel right now, opening day?
It's pretty cool. I've never been on an opening day parade, so this is nice.
That's actually a good point. The players aren't normally out here, but what is it like? What's this feeling like?
It's good to see that the Reds are still a baseball town. It's all good. Yeah.
All right, my last question. Oh, you know our Trisha Mackey, right? She's great, right?
Yeah, we did some at the studio yesterday.
All right. Enjoy your day. Happy opening day. Guys, I got the first one. I think I did good. I'm doing all right, right? It's happening. Yes.
Okay, so here comes Reds' new pitcher, Brady Singer. He's in this nice red convertible sitting up there. He'll start a little bit later in the year. He's a new addition coming from Kansas City. The Reds traded Jonathan India to get him. And there is Tyler Stevenson, who's one of the stars of this team. Tyler is injured, won't be able to play on opening day, so that's why Tyler is able to be in that nice red Corvette waving to the fans. That's one of the bigger stars we've gotten on opening day.
Did you see him just snag that? Somebody just threw something at him and he just like snagged it. It's just
he'll catch anything.
Yeah. It was a bad.
Start throwing things at him.
It was a bad toss. It was crazy.
I don't know if he can do the 5 baseballs in his hand like
Johnny Bench
used to. But Chris Sabo, okay, one of the all-time great characters in Cincinnati Reds baseball history. So when the Reds won the 1990 World Series, they had the big fan gathering.
I remember.
And the parade right there on Fountain Square. Rainy day, but it was still packed with, I'm sure, tens of thousands of people. Well, Sabo, who was kind of the quiet player of that team, even though he had a great series, hit 2 home runs in Game 3, Sabo got up to the microphone and had one of the all-time memorable speeches. It was like 30 seconds long. His voice was cracking, and at the end of his speech, he was talking about how the A's were this heavy favorite to beat the 1990 Reds. Well, he said, we got the rings, we got the money, we've got everything. Thank you. And the whole place erupted. It's forever the big moment of the World Series champion 1990 Reds parade after winning the World Series.
And you talked with him, Tricia, about how he got his nickname Spud, right?
Yeah, that Pete Rose, who nicknamed everyone, gave him that because of Spuds McKenzie. And, you know, when I met him for the first time yesterday, and he is by far the most humble man, I think, of any athlete that I've ever met.
Yeah.
He is quiet. He's just kind of reserved. And I would ask him about all of these wonderful memories that he's had over the years. Even that.
Yep.
Even being at Fountain Square, because I can remember that like it was yesterday. And he's like, I don't think about that much. I mean, he is so accomplished. Think about that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, he's gone on to coaching. His daughter is now part of the Reds broadcast team.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, you mentioned Spuds McKenzie. I'm guessing anybody under the age of 40
might not
watching
know.
this is
no idea.
Who? Spuds who?
Yeah.
But he also played with the goggles.
We talked about that.
Which is part of what made him so likable. He was a 3-time All-Star. He was the Rookie of the Year. He's a World Series champion. His resume speaks for itself. And I'm glad he's one of the grand marshals here of the opening day.
He talked about getting those glasses. He said, my eyes just weren't really good, is what he said. And he needed something that would stay on because he liked to slide.
Yeah.
And he was always getting dirt. And he said, I saw Reggie Jackson had these really cool goggles.
Yeah.
So I said, I want some of those really cool
goggles. I
goggles.
didn't know that.
Yeah. And so
I didn't know that either.
And he also talked about his flat top. And he says, I still wear it. Very few barbers can get it right. And yes, it was true. There was a rumor years ago that he was getting his haircut. I think it was in New York. And he didn't like the way that the flat top was going. And he got to one side of it and he got up and walked out. He said, I had one side of my hair cut because he wasn't doing the flat top correctly.
You just saw the Toyota Tundra's entry here in the opening day parade. The Tundra is a big part of Great American Ballpark. There's the one that sits out there in the outfield and the players hit the sign. A fan wins the Tundra.
Yes.
That's a really hard thing to do. It's 430 feet away and the sign is 3 feet long.
So they've been doing that for years.
Correct.
How many trucks have they given away?
Well, they've given away one because someone got close, but no one has ever
made
actually hit it. But what I think is cool, what Toyota does, if someone doesn't get it, they typically give it away to charity at the end of the year. So they do give the truck away every year, but no one has actually ever hit the sign.
And there's Donna Scott. That is the wife of Jim Scott, and who's doing a fantastic job carrying on the name.
The great Marty Brenneman. Marty Brenneman is on the parade route. He's down there with Ken Baker. Ken, take it away.
He is the man. I saw you at, what Italian restaurant was that? Not too long ago. Over in Covington. Carmelo's, yes. Yeah. He didn't know who I was. He was like, you're a weak sauce kid. No, but let's talk about you being at the Red Stadium. You're going to have a statue. That is like...
Oh. Wait, our mic just went out. Let me tell you, so I talked to Marty also yesterday, and I know you know him pretty well. He talked about the statue. I asked him, and he said it is the biggest honor of his life. Put aside all of the Hall of Fames, the Hall of Fame, the Reds Hall of Fame, everything that he has done for his 50 years in broadcasting, including calling the UK Christian Laettner last-second shot. He was also broadcasting that. I looked it up last night. We talked about that. The statue is going to be his biggest honor of his life.
Did he mention what his hairstyle was going to be?
He
on
did
the statue?
Not. He did
because
not.
You know he was the poofy-haired Fancy boys.
Yes.
And then
him.
and he cut it off
for Dragonfly.
Yes.
The 10-game winning streak.
And kept it going until today.
And I'm glad he did.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks great with his hair currently right now. I'm just curious what the statue's going to look like.
Don't know.
Because are they going to give him the crop or are they going to give him the poof?
I don't know.
I got to know. I'll have to ask him.
I would say fans would want the poof. He would want the crop. Correct. But, you know, I didn't know this, but in Trish's interview, you find out that Marty Brennaman replaced Al Michaels, and he said he owes his entire career to Cincinnati and how people love him here and his connection to the Reds.
Oh, he loves that. Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up because he said he's just been enveloped in love here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He had so many opportunities to leave and go off to do better things, bigger things, but nothing was better. He loves Cincinnati, loves the fact that he's been just embedded in this community, and loves opening day.
Yeah.
You are looking now at the University of Cincinnati Bearcat Marching Band. Well, they brought a lot of life down here. Anytime the bands come through, it always catches my attention when the bands come rolling through. And the Bearcats have one of the best in the area in the Midwest. And here they are at the opening day parade, Rob.
And the other thing I don't think we realize is the University of Cincinnati is the first municipal university in the country. And I think I think a lot of times we forget just how big, but tens of thousands of kids attend the University of Cincinnati. Yeah. It's like one of the biggest schools in the country.
Have you been up on their campus lately?
So in the beginning, when I first arrived in Cincinnati 30 years ago, that campus was a dump, right? And today, it's a beautiful campus.
It is, and all around it, all of the food, all of the housing,
Agreed.
They've done a fantastic job just redeveloping Clifton.
So this is the University of Cincinnati Spring Semester Spirit Band. It consists of members from the marching band, the basketball bands, and other ensembles. What's fun about my job is when I go up to UC and I'm out covering the football team and we're down there at Nippert Stadium, you can hear them practicing every single day. And for them to get this stage right here at the opening day parade is outstanding. And look who's coming next on the parade route, some of our closest friends and our coworkers at Fox 19 Now.
We see Dan Wells out in the front. We see Ken Brown. A lot of the people that you see on air that we often don't see because many of these people work during the morning.
Well, you saw them for 20 plus years on that morning show, and now we flipped you around for so long ago. It's been a great thing.
I did.
You know, so oftentimes people ask me what people are like off the, when they're away from the camera. And I can honestly say, the crew that we have at Fox 19 in the morning and in the evening, class act.
I see Jordan, I see Amber,
people.
I see Courtney,
Hi,
Alexis, Jessica, Ken, Caroline, all of these guys. And a lot of these folks worked this morning.
Yes.
They were at work at 3 a.m.
Yes.
Worked all the way through the morning, and here they are on the parade route representing Fox 19 at the opening day parade.
Rob, you like this shift better, though, than that morning show, don't you?
I do.
Woo.
And the thing is Trisha and I started together in 1995, anchoring weekends. We moved to mornings. We worked apart for 16 years. We came back together, and it's been one of the greatest joys of my life.
And Rob has not changed one. Look at his face; is still perfect. He hasn't aged.
Same.
He hasn't aged.
Same.
Oh yeah, right, yeah.
Same.
He hasn't aged one bit. You look great.
We'll take a quick break right here on the parade coverage on Fox 19 Now. Back with every float from there on out. You're going to see them all as we continue our coverage of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade right here on Fox 19 Now.
You want to get in it? Stand right here. Oh, yeah. There. Thank you.
Got it.
All right, there's Munoz.
Yes! Guys, it is a party opening day. We are about to see the Anthony Munoz. I got a little interview set up with him. Let's see if we can get him. We'll let him move up here a little closer. But it is jam-packed out here. 159 different floats. They are ready. Let's see. Let's see if they're ready. You guys know I was just with Anthony not too long ago. Where is it? There he is! The man with the plan. What's going on? How's it opening day?
Great so far. I mean, how can it not be great?
It's better than my golf game, right?
No comment. I'll take the pick. Well, I think the great thing about it is getting a lot of our mentoring kids, scholarship kids. You know, some of these kids growing up here have never really been to a parade, so to get them up here, it's amazing for them.
Anything else you want to tell the people at Cincinnati about opening day?
1-0 this afternoon, this evening. Owen is 1-0.
Are you going to the game? You're going to the game. I like it. All right, guys. All right, Reagan, I hear that you are out and about. You're partying down there. What are the fans saying?
Oh, man, I really wish I could hear myself right now. We've got the UC band walking by. Yeah, Damaris is showing us right there. Look, I've got some of my friends with me. This is Cooper, this is Skyla, this is Mila. Aren't you guys supposed to be in school today?
No, ma'am.
We're at spring break. Spring break.
It's their spring break. This falls on the perfect time then.
Yes,
How excited are you to be here?
100% really excited. Let's go Reds.
Skylar, you haven't stopped smiling. What is this day like for you?
Happy, I don't know.
Okay, you were telling me earlier, we just saw Brady singer Tyler Stevenson drive past here. You play MLB The Show, right? And you said that you have Brady Singer as one of your pitchers.
Yes, ma'am. That's really well.
and how does he pitch for you?
Really good. I win every game because of him.
Do you think the Reds are going to win some more games because of him?
100%. Yes.
Yes. Have you ever gone to an opening day game?
Once. Yes, I have.
And what was the experience like for you?
Life-changing.
My man Cooper is a man of very few words here. Okay, and just one more thing. Obviously, when you go to the ballpark, you have to have a favorite food, right? What's the favorite food? What's the go-to?
Skyline. I have to get Skyline every time.
Their ice cream.
La Rosa's is buns.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cooper. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Go Reds.
Wow, those are some huge celebrities that are going down the street right now. I mean, huge athletes, big names.
Oh, yeah. Anthony Munoz, all of our Olympians, the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yes.
We caught footballs from Ted Karras and from David Fulcher.
I know.
In fact, I caught one that was tipped from Fulcher, so I can say I caught a pass from David Fulcher.
I fumbled mine from Fulcher.
That's okay.
It's okay,
but
I
you
still
got
have
it.
Yeah, I got
you
it.
could take it home. I might have to throw these back into the crowd. But Ted Karras has been such a great addition to our city because you get these athletes who come into Cincinnati, and he wasn't drafted by the Bengals. He signed here as a free agent because he wanted to play with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and try to win a Super Bowl. And he's become kind of a de facto mayor of Cincinnati, that if he ran for mayor right now, Cincinnati loves Ted Karras because of what he's done with the Cincy Hat Foundation,
for sure.
selling all those hats for the Village of Marici that helps people with disabilities be able to live on their own. And what Ted's done for here, for his hometown in Indianapolis, is something that should be highlighted, has been highlighted, and I'm glad he's got a spot in the opening day parade because Cincinnati absolutely loves him, just like they love Anthony Munoz, who went by on one of the floats as well.
Yeah. I mean, this is where, like, the celebrities in Cincinnati can connect with fans, and it's great that they do it every single year.
Well, it's like you came here in a professional role, and then you fall in love with the place.
Totally.
And you make a name for yourself here. And what do you always say about Cincinnati, Rob? You say it every opening day, and I can't wait for you to say it again, that if you wrap your arms around Cincinnati.
Hugs you back.
That's right.
it hugs you back, right? And the thing is like, my story can be repeated over and over and over and over again of transplants who have come here, didn't think they would stay. 30 years later, they're still here and loving every minute of it. Yeah.
You could talk to Cincy Shirts and get that on a shirt.
I know, I should.
I could sell it.
We
Make
could.
some money. Be throwing that out into the crowd.
So
right
we saw
now.
some of the Olympians who went by, and I want to highlight some of them.
Yeah. I do.
Carson Foster, who went to Sycamore High School, was a swimmer, won 2 medals at the Paris Olympics. 4 years ago, he was 1 spot away from making the Olympic team. They take the top 3 finishers. He finished 4th.
Yeah.
Didn't get there. Refocused himself. And you always talk about athletes, that you use that as motivation. I'm going to come back better. I'm going to go in the pool every day. He said he needed to step back a little bit. He stepped back away from the sport and refocused himself, not necessarily physically, but mentally. Came back, made the team, won 2 medals. He's in the opening day parade, which I think is a really cool story. Also, Annette Echikunwoke, who is a UC student. She was qualified for the Olympics 4 years ago. She was doing it through her home country of Nigeria. They messed up the drug testing, so she was eliminated from competing when she earned it, should have gone. Was a terrible story, a terrible break that she couldn't go. She went back, refocused, got back to it, went to the Olympics, and won America's first ever medal in her sport, the hammer throw. And she's a UC student.
That's incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The kind of athletes we have here in Cincinnati. We always talk about football, right, the Bengals. We always talk about the Reds. It's opening day. But the Olympic sport athletes we have in this area, again, highlighted today at the opening day.
You do a nice job of highlighting all those, Joe, because a lot of people just don't even realize that.
They're the best stories.
Even all of the boxers.
Yeah.
Even all,
Duke
the
Reagan, Rasheed Warren, they were on that float as well.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 guys that wouldn't have had a chance to do anything, right, with their sport, because boxing right now it's not what it was when we were growing up in the 80s and 90s. Maybe it's coming back a little bit. There's some big names coming, but when you're given the opportunity to compete at the Olympics, it gives you a goal, something to win. And these guys won medals at the Olympics, and Duke Reagan won a silver 4 years ago, and they shut down Fountain Square for him to welcome him back. It was an unbelievable night, and for those guys to have that opportunity in their sport, awesome.
And the thing about the Olympics, timing is everything, because not only do you have to be good, you have to be good at the right time.
Correct.
It only comes around every 4 years.
And that's why it's so hard, right? And that's why you have to highlight these guys when they do well, because they made it. They only had 1 shot, and they got it done.
Agreed.
Hey, guys, look at this. Look at Wilberforce University. First ever performance was July 30th of 2022, and now they're over 150 students strong. They sound great. Can we listen just for a moment? Sound impressive.
Did you say their first performance was in 2022?
22.
Pretty amazing, right?
Who is teaching these kids how to play?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Wow.
Wilberforce University, located near Dayton, Ohio. It's one of the country's historically black colleges and universities.
You can feel that. You can.
You can feel that drum.
It's shaking our stage a little bit. You think about the effort it takes. They've been standing and waiting for hours. And now they get their chance to perform, and now they got to walk 1.4 miles and continuously play. So the amount of stamina it takes for a young person to do that is impressive.
The dancers as well. Boy,
we mentioned earlier today that all 3 of us have walked in the parade. And let me give you a feel for what it's like to be on that parade route. You march up Race Street for about 6-7 blocks, maybe 8 blocks, and sound has feel, right? And you're like, going, this is loud. Until you get to 5th Street and you turn left towards Fountain Square, sound there really has feel. It's incredible to feel that from the fans who've shown up for opening day.
You know, the first time I experienced that, years ago.
Incredible.
But right before you turn that corner, you're like, okay, well, I guess it's over.
We're done.
There's not very many people. There's only like 2 people deep, on the streets.
Yeah.
Where before that, it's 8, 9, 10, 11. And then you turn around that corner, you're like, oh my.
And in the beginning, before Over the Rhine was developed, when you marched through Over the Rhine, the crowds were kind of sparse and kind of thin. And then when you made that turn, it was like the amount of people cheering in that corner right there before you hit Fountain Square is incredible.
You know, another thing the city of Cincinnati has done so right is the banks.
Yeah.
You know, and everything there that's available for the banks. You got the door also, and any aerial shots you have seen year after year since the banks has been there, it's just a sea of red. It's unbelievable how many people go down there.
You are currently looking at the Gibbs cheese float. Jeff Gibbs and 3 generations before him have been hustling cheese at the market since 1922. They have over 130 varieties of cheese. I'm going to tell you guys something about myself. I should admit on this stage at this moment.
Go.
I had never been to Findlay Market until last summer.
Really?
Jeremy, so I'm the kind of guy who could eat the same thing every single day. I don't venture out much.
You are the opposite of Rob.
Yes. Jeremy says, I got to take you to Findlay Market because Jeremy, like you, Rob, is not from here and loves to explore.
Totally.
So he picked me up one night at work and said, we're going to Findlay Market. I went down there. I said, how have I never been here before? Now I've been, and now I want to take my kids and my family down to check it out because it's not just going, it's an experience to go there and experience everything there is to see.
Going to Findlay Market, one of the oldest markets in the country, when you go on the weekends, it feels like a festival every single weekend. So if you haven't been there in a while, like Joe Danneman before last year, check it out because it is a treasure.
Yeah, one of the top 10 markets in the world. Did you realize that 1.2 million visitors go to Findlay Market a year?
I believe it.
That's unbelievable.
And it's also a really great incubator for businesses because the Belgium waffle place started on Fountain Square, also went to Findlay Market, and now it's a huge business.
All right, we'll take a quick break. More parade coverage next on Fox 19 Now.
Welcome back to the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade, and you're looking at quite the showing from FC Cincinnati. And if you haven't been to TQL Stadium,
man,
especially in the evening, I'm just going to talk about the outside, the exterior, the light show that you get. Beautiful. Inside, I've gone to, 4, maybe 5 FC games. Second to none as far as fan experience.
Yep.
And you know, I'm a huge basketball fan, love the Reds. It's unbelievable.
It's unique.
It is
unbelievable.
Because
of the constant singing and chanting and cheering.
Nonstop.
And it's fast-paced. It doesn't stop. It's 2 hours, and it's one of the, and you used the right term, fan experience. Great fan experience.
The Bailey is crazy.
Yep.
Let's send it over to Reagan Holgate. She's hanging out on the parade route, catching up with fans.
Yeah, okay, actually, right now, Rob, I'm in Washington Park. We're playing a few games right now. I've got my friend Cole with me. This is actually kind of dangerous, if I'm being honest. It's called giant cornhole, and these giant cornhole bags are just flying everywhere. Okay, Cole, throw one, except don't get hit in the head. Okay, here, Cole, ready? Throw it out there. That's not bad. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm ready. Ready? I might take someone's head off with that. Okay, Cole. Are you on spring break right now by chance?
No.
No? You're just not in school?
I'm still in school.
You just didn't want to go today, not feeling too well. You had to. I guess. He just got hit by a cornhole bag. Okay, what's your favorite part about this day and about opening day?
It's just fun watching the games and just parades and watching the parades.
I see you wearing an Ellie De La Cruz jersey. Let's show the camera, right? See your favorite player?
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing about watching Ellie play?
He's just good.
He's good. That's pretty good to say. Okay, I really want to throw one more. Let's try and throw one more. Oh my goodness. Are you okay? I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm going to go throw one more here as the finale. Are you ready? Throw it back. Ready? Let's go. Together. On with 3. Okay, not on 3. Guys, we're having so much fun out here. Take it away.
You are looking at the Crosby Elementary. These look like unicyclists.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to ask you guys about a hidden talent here momentarily, but these are 4th and 5th graders who ride unicycles and tall bikes. I see them perform at local sporting events. You think about halftime shows at college basketball games.
Yeah.
I'll see them there. Some of the best performers are kids when they perform at these halftime shows of college basketball games. So I have to ask you, that's a talent. That's not hidden.
Talent.
They're showing everybody on our parade coverage what their talent is. Do you guys have a hidden talent? Can you juggle? Can you ride a unicycle?
Spin a basketball?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, you can spin. Can you actually do it and keep spinning it?
Yeah, but my nails are too long.
That's right.
I'd have to go in my knuckle. I guess I could go in my knuckle.
That's a talent.
Yeah.
Do you have any special talents?
I can speak German.
Really?
Yeah.
Lay it on us.
I've been waiting for the Bengals to go to Germany and play in one of the games there so I can say, Das ist gut. But I'm from Cincinnati, right? The German heritage.
Yeah, sure.
So I took 4 years in high school. I took 3 years in college. Look, it's been 20 years since I've used the language. I can hear it and read it, speak it okay.
Yeah, sure.
But I can hear and read
Yours is, you can speak another language.
Oh, yeah, I can speak Japanese, but I'm like Joe. I don't use it that much anymore, so it's like a grind. At this age, it's even more of a grind as I try to search for those Japanese words bouncing around in my head.
Yeah, okay, so let me just wrap this up for you guys right here. Hidden talents, you speak German, you speak Japanese, I can spin a ball.
That's right. That's right. Okay, so we've got a couple of great floats coming up here that I want to talk about because Pete Rose is going to get a lot of attention this year, as he should this coming Red season. The big night, May 14th, will be Pete Rose night at Great American Ballpark. They're going to be starting at 7:14 that night. It's going to be a lot of 14 because of what Pete Rose meant to Cincinnati, meant to the Reds, meant to opening day. And we're going to have this giant float here with 4192, the hit king, Pete Rose, being honored at the opening day parade.
One of the saddest days in Cincinnati was when he passed away. And I was hoping that we got it wrong when that came over. When I saw it on the first time, I was hoping we got it wrong.
I was hoping we could be prepared.
Yes,
yeah.
Okay, you know, when you know someone's sick and you know they're declining, Pete, it was so sudden. And it was hard for the entire city of Cincinnati to have to say goodbye to what represents our city, right? The grit the toughness, the hustle, everything that Midwesterners like to affiliate themselves with. That was Pete Rose, and that's what he brought to the Reds, and they're going to honor Pete all throughout the year, as they should.
And if you haven't seen that documentary about Pete Rose, even in Cincinnati, and we know a lot about Pete Rose, you discover things about him and his story that you did not know before you started watching that documentary.
And what I wanted to ask George when we had George Foster up here in the pre-parade show was, who's going to be our next generation of Red storytellers?
Yeah.
Because whenever they brought back Pete, Johnny, George, Joe, we've lost Pete, we've lost Joe. Who's going to be the next generation to tell the story of the Cincinnati Reds? And we have Barry Larkin, who's currently on the game broadcasts. He'll certainly be part of that.
Yeah.
But we need some more storytellers to keep telling the story of the Cincinnati Reds, because when they come back to town and there's an event where they're the biggest personality in the room by a million. And that will be missed for me, because I didn't see Pete play. I didn't see Joe play. I didn't see Johnny play. I didn't see George play. But I hear their stories, and the way they tell them and the way people connect and listen to them is something that I hope carries on for another generation, because we are going to lose them all someday. And I hope we have a next generation of Red storytellers.
Agreed.
He wanted to be in the Hall of Fame in his lifetime. He wanted to be in the Hall of Fame.
I
asked him about it. He should be. And one of the things that's a lasting impression on me, and I believe he is a great storyteller, Joe. I could have sat down with him and just listened to him for hours. But he said, I'm going to get in the Hall of Fame one day. I really believe it. I just hope it's when I'm alive.
It's a shame, because the Hall of Fame should be merit-based on what you did on the field, and he's one of the absolute best to ever do it. Are these the Rockford Peaches?
Woo! Look at them.
Yeah, a league of their own. So one of the great experiences I've had in recent years covering the Reds is when they played the Field of Dreams game up in Iowa. That was such a different, cool event. They're going to do something similar this summer, a one-day event when they play down at Bristol Motor Speedway in Tennessee. To have those moments and events throughout a season is really cool. But the Rockford Peaches, and I told this story before here, I worked in Evansville, Indiana for a year and a half in this business, and they filmed parts of A League of Their Own in Evansville at Great Bossy Field. Okay, it's not that far from here. It's only a 3-hour drive for the third oldest still used ballpark in the country. The top two, Fenway Park in Boston, Wrigley Field in Chicago. Number 3, oldest still used ballpark, is Bossy Field in Evansville, Indiana, where Madonna was living in Evansville, Indiana for months at a time filming this movie. Yeah, little Evansville had Madonna living there to film.
I thought you were going to talk about the local girl that you knew that was in the movie also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she is. Yeah. She went to Villa.
Yeah,
played volleyball at Villa.
Yeah. Let's go to Ken Baker, who's hanging out with the people who run the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum.
Yes, I have Perry here. Perry, you guys just spruced up the museum. New exhibit is there. How's it going?
It's going great. Everybody's loving the new exhibit, and we're just now starting it. It's about the Great 8, and we're celebrating the 75 and 76 World Series with that, so that's going to be pretty cool.
I didn't go into the museum until probably it was like 3 weeks ago. I went there. For people who have never gone there, it's not like a bore. It's like very exciting. Get people there. What would you say to them?
Hey, they got to come down and see it. It is the best museum, sports museum anywhere, but I will tell you that we have guests from all over the country to come there and to see it. It's incredible. It really is. The history that you learn, that's what's so amazing.
I love it. Thank you, Perry. Have you guys been to the museum? It is gorgeous. It's beautiful inside. You have to go.
All right, that was Ken Baker with Perry Thacker of the Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, and you saw all the men dressed up, and some women, in the old Red Stockings uniforms. I've gotten to know a lot of those guys who go around town and they play games in the Red Stocking uniforms. They don't use gloves because they didn't use gloves back then, so they play baseball without gloves. Trisha's giving me a look like, are you serious?
I didn't think they did that.
Yeah, they didn't play with gloves. In fact, they played a game on Great American Ballpark's field a couple of summers ago that I got to go watch. I was doing a story on one of the guys who was walking with them in the opening day parade a couple of years ago. He was one of the original Red Stocking players who would come back and put on the uniform and go around town and perform. He lost his leg in a work accident, and his goal was to get back and walk in the opening day parade with a prosthetic leg. His name is Rodney Hamilton. He and I have become friends, and he was able to do that. The opening day parade was his motivation to not just sit on the couch and feel bad for himself, but to get a prosthetic leg and get back and walk in the opening day parade with his teammates, and he's done that. And I want to say hello to Rodney because I'm sure he's home watching this because he loves opening day, just like so many people here in Cincinnati.
We just saw the Rheingeist Brewery float. It was founded in 2013. You know, I talked with the founders of Rheingeist, and when they started, they had one kettle, and now it's the 22nd largest craft brewery by volume, and you can go to another city and see Rheingeist beer on tap, which is pretty amazing as Cincinnati rediscovers its commitment to its brewing history.
Do you know, Joe, when you were talking about not using gloves, I remember seeing several Reds, they would take infield practice, and they had these little bitty gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you remember those?
I
mean,
do.
they're almost like the size of your hand.
Correct, like an oven mitt.
Yeah, like an oven mitt. And I thought, what is that? And they said it's just hand-eye coordination.
Correct.
It's just unbelievable to me that you can catch a ball like that.
The great Brandon Phillips, who was one of the
all-time
great defensive players in Cincinnati Reds history, used to have multiple gloves like that in his locker so that he would go out to the field and warm up. And you're right, it's just about the feel, because playing defense with a glove is about feeling it. And infielders use very small gloves. Outfielders use bigger gloves. But you got to be able to field that with your glove, with your hand, to have soft hands and be a good infielder. Yeah. And that's why they practiced with it. The Batavia High School Marching Bulldogs, part of the opening day parade. And again, we mentioned it when the UC band walked by, when the Wilberforce band walked by. These guys have been waiting all morning long, now into the afternoon, to perform, and now they're getting their chance to show everybody in Cincinnati what they're all about. And they sound great.
They do sound great.
Let's check in with Reagan Holgate.
Thanks, Joe. Okay, I have Braden here with me, and this is actually fun because it's our first opening day. Your first, my first. We're experiencing all of it together. Can you just kind of tell me, thoughts, emotions, feelings around what you've experienced so far today?
So far, it's been really awesome. There's lots of things that have been really cool for my son and I. It's his first opening game as well. It's our first opening game parade, which has been really cool. It's really nice to have the park area where there's so many activities. Let the kids come play. He can burn off energy before we sit in the game, so I really appreciate that. But like we were talking earlier, it's those core memories that we're building, so you can't put a price on it.
How excited are you just to experience this day with your son, 9 years old, getting to spend his first opening day right here in Cincinnati?
Oh, I can't put into words how exciting it is. We woke up this morning and it was electric from the word go. We hit McDonald's, got breakfast, got in the car, and it was, how fast are we going to be there, Dad? How long does it take to get there, Dad? Like, are we there yet, Dad? So we parked down by the stadium. We walked up. It was a power walk, trying to keep tabs on him as he was trying to run along. But, yeah, it'll be one of those things that if we can turn into a tradition, we will, and just build those memories that, like, when I'm gone, he can share with his kids on, hey, you're like, Grandpa used to take me, we used to do this. It was awesome. So
I asked you a little bit earlier if we could talk just a little bit of ball, and just how excited are you about this upcoming Red season? What are your thoughts going into game one today?
It's, having been a Reds fan for a while, like, I always feel like we start off really well and sometimes we struggle later in the season. Hopefully we can break that kind of streak. I think, like, we've got the new coaching, we've got a lot of talent. I think we've got a lot of potential. It'll just be keeping it together through that long season and hopefully, like, some postseason action.
Yeah, right. The Reds would love to see some October baseball, and I'm sure the fans would as well. Lastly here, I have a trivia question for you. I'm not sure if you'll know it. I feel like this is a pretty easy one. Who has the most Reds hits in opening day history?
Oh, I have no idea.
Pete Rose.
Oh, I should have guessed that. Yeah.
Should have known that, right?
Set up. Yeah, no, I should have known that.
All right, Braden, we appreciate your time. Have a great day today.
Hey, thanks, you as well.
All right, we've got more coming up on Fox 19 right here from the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Stay with us.
Welcome back to our parade coverage here on Fox 19 Now. A quick listen to the Northern Kentucky High School's marching band.
How are you?
So that is a combined marching band from several Northern Kentucky high schools. I have to say, guys, we've seen now about 50 entries. That had to be the biggest entry we've seen so far.
So large that they ran into like kind of traffic, so they stopped marching forward and marched backwards to create more space, which was incredible to see.
Yeah, it was like rush hour traffic at 4 o'clock. Stop and start, but now they're moving.
I've never seen anything like that before in my life.
That's a good idea.
All of these Northern Kentucky schools came together for one big band, and they're all playing in unison.
And you have to think they practice together.
Yes.
And a lot of times they don't get the kind of attention they deserve, bands do, for the amount of work they put in, the amount of work it must have taken to get these kids from all these different high schools together, not only to play correctly together, but also march in formation together. That takes time.
Oh, yeah. It's
Good
like
on them.
It's like a sport.
It
It's
is.
taking a lot of time.
We just saw Rosie Reds, and did you know Rosie stands for Rooters Organized to Stimulate Interest and Enthusiasm in the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah, they're big fundraisers, too. A lot of what they do goes to the Urban Youth Academy, Reds Community Fund, and the Kid Glove organization, which was big for me as a kid. So good on the Rosie Reds. We're waving right back at you for everything you guys have done for Cincinnati and baseball here in Cincinnati at the Reds level all the way down to the youth level as well.
You know, you mentioned the Kid Glove. The Kid Glove was represented early on in this parade today, and that is one of the organizations that's an unsung hero in Cincinnati. They raise money. These kids go out, they sell tickets to get to a game. They get money back, and they can buy all of the equipment for softball and baseball teams. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Awesome. Hey, Bronson Arroyo is literally performing on a float. This is new. He's in full Reds uniform. This is a Reds Hall of Famer, former pitcher, performing up on stage at the Reds opening day parade. Things you only see in Cincinnati. This is one of them right there, Bronson Arroyo performing.
Let's hear him.
He sounds good.
He's great.
The thing is like, if you're not from Cincinnati, this might seem odd to you,
right.
But if you're from here, this is perfectly normal.
He tells a great story. So Bronson was one of my all-time favorite athletes to interview because he was so honest.
Yeah.
He has a great story. He is a huge fan of Pearl Jam. He actually got to perform on stage with Eddie Vedder in Pearl Jam.
Seriously?
Yeah. We're talking about a guy who's won World Series, who's in the Reds Hall of Fame. He'll tell you one of his all-time great life experiences is getting up on stage with Pearl Jam and rocking
Eddie Vedder.
out with Eddie Vedder, who's a big baseball fan himself. Now, he's a big Cubs fan.
Yeah.
But Bronson Arroyo was able to share that experience.
Very
he still
cool.
has a pic
Hi, guys.
that he got to use that night from the Pearl Jam band.
Do you know his drummer has a George Foster shirt on.
I love it.
There it is. Okay, this is the Green Township Professional Firefighters float, riding on a 1985 Sutphen fire truck, and fire department members walking in the parade, and I think all of their kiddos right there on the actual Green Township fire truck. We're waving right back at you guys.
You know, one of the coolest things for kids to do is do the touch a truck.
Yeah.
Right, when they're little, all they want to do, and these little happy faces all on that truck.
Well, this might be the oldest Reds fan of all time. A woolly mammoth with an old pillbox Reds hat on. This is a new one. I have never seen this before. And if you look closely, the woolly mammoth has a handlebar mustache, which is a great touch. Of what Rob just said, things that would only seem weird to people outside of Cincinnati. If you're in Cincinnati, this fits right in with what we do on opening day.
And you know, like there was a time where Union Terminal was in jeopardy, but the city came together to raise the money to make sure we restored it, and now we have it here in Cincinnati, which is incredible because that's an iconic building.
Do you realize that almost the same amount of people every year go to Findlay Market to go to the museum center?
Probably.
Yeah, 1.5 million.
Yeah, there you go.
Every year. Didn't you do a behind the scenes on Union Terminal back in the day?
I
remember
did.
that.
It's a free tour. You just have to talk to someone there. But you can take a tour of the old offices. Everything is Art Deco, and you can still smell the cigar smoke when you go into the
I thought you did
conference
something.
room.
Wasn't there something about the clock or something that you talked about?
Well, if you shout in one part of the terminal, you can hear it all the way on the other side because of the architecture. It's incredible.
That's nice.
Our next entries are the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, 2197 of Cheviot, Ohio. They raise money for charities that benefit veterans, doing great work in part of the opening day parade with the first big American flag that we've seen so far. And the next entry is the Carlisle High School marching band, consisting of 75 members. They are a regular state marching band finalist, and they started in 1932, so in a handful of years, they will celebrate their 100-year anniversary of marching bands at Carlisle High School. That shows that Reds country isn't just in Cincinnati, in the tri-state. It goes all over Ohio, West Virginia, Kentucky, Indiana.
And you know that when you watch the caravan, because
that's right.
They go farther than Cincinnati, Westchester, and Dayton. They go all over the place because the Reds draw in so many people. I came to Cincinnati in 1978, and our family had a friend who lived here, right? It was a friend of my dad's. And they had a son, and he grew up watching the Reds. Hasn't lived here in like 40 years, still a Reds fan to this day, right?
But if you came in the 70s, the Reds were the best thing going in Major League Baseball.
Correct.
And generations have been passed down because of that success. Sweet Caroline from the Carlisle High School marching band. Next up is the Cincinnati Circus Company. That is a full-service entertainment company that offers many different types of entertainment, including, of course, the circus. I see mimes, I see bubbles, I see jugglers. That's something maybe I can try.
And stilt walkers.
Yeah.
Maybe I can try to get on some stilts and see if that's a hidden talent. That's one of those things you'd never know you can do it unless you tried it.
You have to have good balance.
See, I'm going to struggle.
You have to be balanced.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a quick break here on the Findlay Market opening day coverage here on Fox 19 now. So much more to come. Stay with us.
I'd say the sights and sounds of Cincinnati. We go from Pearl Jam to Bronson Arroyo. We have marching bands. We have the Godfather soundtrack.
We have it all.
We have it all right here.
And right now,
go ahead, Rob.
We're looking at the Cincinnati Public Schools marching band made up of 5 CPS high schools. Last year was their first year in the opening day parade. They have 125 students making up this entry.
It's been a big spring for CPS. The Aiken High School basketball team made it all the way to the state finals, where they finished as state runner-up. That team is loaded, going to come back next year and represent CPS at the high school basketball level.
You know, sometimes I look at these kids that are in these parades, and the age of the band of Cincinnati Public Schools looked about 13.
Yeah.
And so talented.
Is that
and
Cameo?
So
Word Up?
That's playing? Word Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another
Remember
one.
that.
Know that one. Our next entry is the Huseman Group, established in 1931 and began as a commercial construction company. This group has worked on historical downtown buildings, the Cincinnati Zoo, and local schools, a staple right here in the great city of Cincinnati.
Now something very interesting is coming up, and before we get to it, probably a year ago, Tricia said to me, she goes, "What are you doing for dinner?" I said, "I have no plans." She goes, "Why don't you come to a party with me?" And we go to Jeff Ruby's downtown for his birthday party, and Guy Fieri is there, right?
Yes,
and
yes.
Truthfully, I watch all his shows, but I wasn't a huge fan, right? We met him. He recognized Tricia and recognized me from watching the news the night before in his hotel room, and he was the nicest guy on the planet.
Yes, yes.
He was the first celebrity I saw when we touched down in Los Angeles for the Super Bowl, was Guy Fieri. And my wife said, "Hey, how many celebrities you've seen him?" "Well, I saw this guy. I took a picture with him." She's like, "Are you kidding me?" Well, and that's when you knew the Super Bowl was different, when you start seeing celebrities all over the place in L.A.
In addition to Tricia, our connection to Jeff Ruby is that his daughter was an intern in the sports department.
That's right.
And now she's running Jeff Ruby Culinary, and she is killing it in so many different areas.
She is. She is. And you know what? Jeff, he started with nothing.
Yeah, I know.
And he has grown to have an empire.
Let's check in with Reagan Holgate, celebrating her first opening day here in Cincinnati. Let's send it right back over to her.
Yeah, okay, Joe, it's my first opening day, not Tiffany's first opening day. You just told me you've been doing this since you were a little kid.
I was, yes, I have been here. Every year we are here. We bring it.
And I knew I had to talk to Tiffany when I walked by, and I heard this scream, and I said, she must be having some fun today. How much fun are you having here with the fam?
We are having a blast. It's so awesome to be down here with lots of people and bringing it on. It's just such a great spirit. So many people. Bring it, Cincinnati.
And you got your sons here cheering Mom on.
Husband, are you cheering Mom on?
What do you got to say about your mom?
She's a beautiful lady. I mean, she's an amazing woman. Brought me here since I was about 5 years old. Every single opening day we've been here, supporting the Reds.
What's the best thing about opening day?
I mean, it's just a hype. I mean, you see this crowd. Man. Cincinnati shows out. We're a baseball town. We're a baseball town at the end of the day.
Hey, I keep hearing this. Nobody does it like Cincinnati. How true is that?
That is so true. We bring it. We've got so many things to offer here. We're really number one. Like, go Cincinnati.
Go Cincinnati. How excited are you for the Reds this season?
I am so excited. I can't wait. We're going to bring it. They better.
We're going to bring it. Tiffany keeps bringing it. Hey, we're having so much fun here right on the parade route right here on Fox 19. Guys, back to you.
You know, one of my favorites I've seen so far was the Groove Crew of Greater Cincinnati. It was a community-based adult dance group open to all ages 18 and up and up and up. And they are performing in parades and events. They had a great amount of energy of all ages in there. Fantastic.
And your favorite character was?
Gramsy.
Gramsy,
yes. I saw you.
Yeah.
I saw you, Gramsy.
We should mention this because at the beginning of this broadcast, we were talking about how beautiful and warm it was. That has since changed. If you're headed down here, it's cloudy.
Yeah.
And it's colder.
Yes.
And it's windier, but it's still a great time.
Yes.
Just want to let you know before you head down here.
Especially if you have kids, bring a jacket.
Yeah.
You need a jacket.
What has been your favorite float so far? Or entry? Doesn't have to be a float.
Well, I think the thing that blows me away every year are the amount of celebrities and professional athletes and that they make time in their day because they get asked to do a million things for charity and all that stuff, but they make time for this. I think that's fantastic they do it.
Probably my favorite float is the Bronson Arroyo one.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was different. We haven't seen that before.
It was great.
That guy was a full drummer, too.
I know. I mean, he was having a full-blown performance as the float was headed down the street.
Arroyo, he was focused, man.
Yes.
Oh, he's a performer.
Oh, yeah, he looked
We didn't
good.
get a chance to talk about the Dragonfly Foundation when they passed by. You mentioned that you wanted to say a few words about that.
So Marty was talking about that yesterday when we were discussing different career milestones because he's had such a long, illustrious career. He said that there was a 10-game streak, right? And so he made a bet.
Right.
The Reds can't win 10 games. If the Reds win 10 games, I'm going to have my head shaved.
Yeah.
He said no one thought that he was actually going to do it. So 10 games go on. He shows up at home plate. They shave his head. Yeah. It was one of the greatest moments of his life and actually raised the level for the Dragonfly Foundation because there's so many people that never even knew it existed until that moment. I was one of them. I did not know Dragonfly existed until he actually did that. He shined a light on it, and it just made such a difference to so many kids. And it deals with all these kids that have cancer.
What was fun for me, sorry to interrupt, Tricia, was you mentioned him getting his head shaved at home plate. All of the Reds players
loved it.
Were so involved
They loved it.
And so a part of it. They were all either gathered around or they were inside the Reds clubhouse watching it on television as they shaved his head. And ever since then, as you mentioned it, everybody knows what Dragonfly's about, what they do, and that's what it takes sometimes. And it's made a huge difference to their foundation.
Because the thing is everybody knows Make-A-Wish, right?
Correct.
Just hands down. We didn't know about the Dragonfly Foundation. The only reason people know about it today is because of Marty Brenneman and him shaving his head and the whole Reds organization getting behind it.
And we talked about the statue and what his hair is going to look like.
Yep.
I mean, he's somebody who took pride in his hair for years and years.
So you're hearing right now is the Jack Sandell Junior and Senior High School Marching Eagles. We talk all the time about Reds Country. This is part of that out of Osgood, Indiana. They focus mainly on pep band and parade marching. They play at basketball games and some tournament games as well. And here we see now another Findlay Market opening day parade float. They've got actual picnic benches
That's
and
nice.
Umbrellas.
I like that.
Nice touch.
Well, I think if you're going to watch the parade, watching it
That's right.
from the parade while sitting down around a picnic table is probably your best spot.
That is the Wheeland Builders who did that, a family-owned and operated custom home builder. 65 years of experience, and you can see their handiwork on display here at the parade.
That kind of reminds you that when you go to Findlay Market, as you guys were talking about earlier, bring the family.
Right.
It's an experience for everybody. Thank you.
We just saw the Cincinnati Beard Barons. They're a group of men and women who raise money by hosting beard and mustache competitions for charity.
I got to ask you guys, have you ever had a mustache?
Yes, once.
Yeah?
Once.
How'd it look?
Terrible.
Is that right?
It lasted, so I was on vacation, and at the end of vacation, I went to shave, and I went, okay, let me see what I would look like with a mustache. Showed my wife, she said, get rid of it now.
So
gone.
On the morning show, maybe 10 years ago, we did Movember.
Yes.
That thing came in, and we all looked terrible. And the bosses said, don't ever do that again.
I can't believe that you look bad.
Terrible.
Did you see that
It
one,
was
guys?
not
Did you see that one? He was full blown.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we saw the Cincinnati official Juneteenth parade featuring a float with symbols of freedom, unity, and empowerment. The 4th annual Juneteenth this year on Saturday, June 21st, 2025.
We talked about the legacy that Jim Scott left behind and the fact that Donna continues to carry the torch. The same can be said for the Nuxall Foundation, which you're going to be laying your lies on in just a little bit.
Yeah, if you haven't been to the Miracle League that the Nuxalls do with Kim Nuxall, it's one of those events, if you go to, you will be moved because of what they do, the work they do. And there are so many organizations throughout Cincinnati that do great things. And every opening day parade, we do have the chance to highlight what the Nuxall Foundation does and what the Joe Nuxall Miracle League fields do. Huge difference maker in our community.
It is.
To give kids a chance to play baseball and experience what every kid would want to. And that's success and empowerment on a baseball field. And those kids feel that.
And you said Kim has been a champion for this. And Ken Breaker, you're standing by with the Nuxall Foundation.
It takes forever. Yeah, keep moving. I'll just move with you. All right, Kim Nuxall, tell me, how excited are you for opening day?
I'll tell you, it's the best day of the year, man. I'll tell you, we love every minute of it.
Who do you got here behind you? How'd you pick these folks to be in the parade with you guys?
Well, this is the Madison Mohawks from Middletown, Madison. Our character crusaders are joining us today.
I don't know who wouldn't know what you guys do, but explain real quick what your organization does for Cincinnati.
Gosh, we have the Character Fund, spreading the word of good character. As Hunter Green says, just be a good human being. We got the Miracle League. Special needs ball field up in Fairfield, and then we have our golf outing that raises money for scholarships.
I'm delaying the parade a little bit, so I'm going to let you go because I don't want the cops to get me. But, guys, we will send it back in the Joe Nuxall Foundation here.
Welcome back, everyone, as Fox 19 now covers the 105th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. As we mentioned, it's a big day for us and a big day for the city. We started at 4:30. Our coverage is going to go through the game. That's why we have to say goodbye to this guy.
Yeah, I have to head down to the ballpark because as soon as the parade is finished, we go straight into our pregame show. It'll be myself, Jeremy Rao, Gabby Sorrentino, Reagan Holgate. We're going to get into all the baseball stuff at that point. So this is the fun, the parade. Then we get into the meat of the game. Right when the parade ends, you'll see us down at the ballpark.
And after that special, you can watch the game right here on Fox 19 now.
Which is unbelievable.
First time ever. We've done it. And then don't forget, after the game, we have not only FanDuel Sports Network's post-game show, but also a Fox 19 Now post-game show. So our coverage doesn't stop when the game ends. It continues after that. You'll see coverage throughout the entire day.
As a local guy, as a sports guy in this town, what you wanted to do, what does it mean to you that we have a partnership with the Bengals and the Reds?
It's a dream come true. And it's not only just having the partnership, it's the timing. We talked about timing with Olympics. Timing is everything.
Yeah.
With how hot the Bengals are right now with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and now the Reds with Ellie De La Cruz and Terry Francona. This could be a special year here in Cincinnati, and we're starting it today with the opening day parade and opening day on Fox 19.
Well
now.
said.
Joe D, you covered spring training. You got a good inside look
I'm
at all
telling
of
ya.
these up-and-comers. Tell us about one hidden, like a sleeper.
That's a great question, a sleeper, because we know all of these stars. I'll say one name because he didn't play last year, and everybody in the Reds fan base wanted them to go out and get a big bat. The Reds need a big bat to supplement Ellie De La Cruz and all these stars. Matt McLain is back. Matt McLain might be the best hitter in the Reds organization. He's healthy. He's back in the lineup. Matt McLain will be a difference maker for this team if they're going to the playoffs this year.
All right.
Yep.
Joe Danneman, our sports director, he's going to shove off, but he's not quitting working. He's going to have the pre-game show right here on Fox 19
And you'll
now.
be there after the game.
We'll be there all day long, live from Great American Ballpark. No place I'd rather be on opening day
Agreed.
than Great American Ballpark.
Go get that hot dog
All
in the press box.
Hey, guys, have a great rest of the show.
See you, my friend.
Now we're taking a look at floats once again. Coming up, we just saw the TLG, Peterbilt Cincinnati, but now we have the Lebanon High School Marching Band. Now it consists of 102 members, and the band has participated in numerous parades, including several in Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom, and of course the Findlay Market opening day parade. And I would assume, Tricia, for a lot of kids, this is like their highlight of the year, to be able to march in this parade.
Every now and then. Now we have, we're holding this like packet of papers, right? So we can follow along with all of these floats names. And every now and then they get a little bit out of order. One I think that might have gotten out of order when I was talking. Maybe you've seen it go past, but King Records, I don't know if in fact you did see it. That's one of the best times every year that I have is to have Rob talk about King Records and what it means to you and the city.
So I do want to point out there was a new documentary that just came out on King Records, but King Records really amplifies Cincinnati's connection to music. Of course, James Brown recorded there, and while he was recording there, Bootsy Collins was walking by, picked up the bass, and traveled with James Brown before starting his own career, before getting inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because Bootsy Collins is one of the best people to ever pick up a bass. He's so talented.
You could stop it before pick up a bass.
Yeah, totally.
He's fun. I'll tell you what, he goes to all these charity events. You always know it when he comes into the room because he is one loud dresser.
And we would be remiss if we didn't mention Bootsy without mentioning his wife, Patty, who's also very committed to this town.
Yeah, Patty, you do a great job. How are you? Oh, thank you. Thanks.
And you just saw Spring Grove Cemetery pass on by. If you haven't been there, it is a beautiful cemetery. It's a beautiful park, and it was established in 1945.
Do you know, when my one daughter started taking up photography, right, and she wanted to take photos, and she wanted to go to, like, different places, I said, let's go to Spring Grove Cemetery.
Yeah.
And she goes, Mom, why would we go to Spring Grove? It's a cemetery. It's one of the most beautiful places. It's scenic. There's ponds. There's beautiful landscaping.
Yes.
And unbelievable headstones and mausoleums, and it is just something else.
Some of those
history.
Some of those mausoleums are nicer than homes when you look at some of the big Cincinnati names associated with it. We do want to mention this. Sipsy Klein just passed by. We should mention that Sipsy Klein is different than a lot of other realtors in town because Sipsy Klein is a local realtor fully owned by local people that serves this city. So hats off to Sipsy Klein.
And there you have the red horse-drawn carriage from Salt Run Stables. It's a family-owned business as well. They've been in Morrow, Ohio, and that's a pretty nice one, horse-drawn carriage. Carrying some very happy faces. Quite a few people throwing footballs into the fans. Have you noticed that?
I have noticed that. You're looking now at the Twin Towers Senior Living. It's been around since 1899. It's known as the Castle on the Hill, and it was designed by famed Cincinnati architect Samuel Hannaford. If you're not familiar with that name, Samuel Hannaford is responsible for a lot of the major buildings in the Cincinnati area, including he's the architect of Music Hall at Washington Park.
How about that? Rob dropping him down.
I know. Oh, and of course, we should mention Radio 1.
Yeah. Ken Baker, you're standing by. Who you got right now?
We got a whole bunch of fans. Guys, are you guys enjoying the parade? Oh, yeah! What's your favorite float so far?
My favorite what?
Your favorite float?
Oh, the pig thing was coming around?
Oh, yeah, the big pig. How about, what was your favorite one?
The army vehicle.
What was your favorite?
The fire truck.
The fire truck, yes. Shout out to the Cincinnati Fire Department. Old, I don't really follow the YouTubers. What was your favorite, ma'am?
Oh, I think all of them.
All of them?
Love them all.
Isn't the vibe just fantastic down here?
This is my first time and I love it.
You know, the young kids, they always say, we're outside, or they say, we outside. We outside! It's live out here. What are you going to do after the parade?
Go to the ball game.
Are you really? Yes. How much did you pay for your tickets?
Nothing. My son bought them for me.
Oh, son! We need to be friends. All right, cool. Let's see what we got here coming down the road. We've got a band. Let's see them do their thing. Hey, oh yeah, that's my homie right there. Boom. All right, Trisha Rob, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Ken, thank you very much. One of the best parts of the parade is when bands come through because it kind of gets the crowd excited again.
So this is the Trotwood Madison High School Marching Musical Machine of the Midwest. Multi-award winning marching band. They've been shared on celebrity social media accounts. Devin Morrison, do you have any idea who Fetty Wap is?
No, but
it's a big YouTuber. My kids would know.
I just count me off all the lists that's supposed to be for hit people. We are also waiting for the Newport Aquarium, which is coming up. And you see, when they pull up, you're going to see it. They have umbrellas which are designed to look like jellyfish.
Yes.
Because they have that new exhibit that just opened. They spent $1.5 million for a major expansion, and that is what that shows right there. Do you remember when Newport Aquarium opened?
I do.
With such fanfare?
I do.
Probably more than 25 years ago now.
Now, you know, I'm from Newport, right?
Yes.
And I can remember when Newport was known for not very many good things, right? And then the Newport on the Levee came. And it started changing everything.
Agreed.
And that riverbank started cleaning up and just being really impressive. And since then, all of those buildings, including where I went to kindergarten, is now upscale. People live there and pay a lot of rent.
I know. It's incredible. And that was all started by the redevelopment of that area by Newport Aquarium and Newport on the Levee.
And it bled down the road.
Yeah.
Bellevue, Dayton, all of them took over that. And it's done a lot for the Cincinnati side as well.
The next float is Mount St. Joseph University, established in 1920. It was known for years as College of Mount St. Joseph, but now it's known as Mount St. Joseph University.
One of the things that's known for also is Lauren Hill. That's where she wanted to play basketball.
Yes. And I know you were very close with her and very close with her family.
And she got to make that one bucket.
Yes.
And it put them on the map as well because they handled that so well. The team, the AD, everybody there just covered her with love. And I'll tell you, I think about that every time I go to MSJ, all the time.
Now we're going to say goodbye as you watch the Willis Music and Buddy Rogers Music float. It's the 125th anniversary, and it features a live performance by the Cincinnati Brass Band. We'll be back in a
Well, it is a huge day in Cincinnati as we welcome back baseball, and also a great big day for us at Fox 19 Now, because we're very proud to be broadcasting live several, like 10 Cincinnati Reds games all season long, including today. So if you keep it right here on Fox 19 Now, we've been on the air all morning long with the morning show. We've got their parade. We've got pregame. We've got the game. We've got postgame. There's no place to go except right here.
Honestly, if I were you, I would just turn the TV to Fox 19 at 4:30 in the morning and just leave it there.
Yeah, we appreciate
because we have
it.
you covered. I know not everyone can make it down here, and watching it on TV is not the same as being down here, but we're going to make it as close as possible so you feel like you are here enjoying opening day with everybody else. And opening day is so important because it's like the first day of kindergarten.
It
like
is.
anything is possible.
No, it
right?
is. It
Anything
is.
is possible.
And you know what? I do think that one of the things fans talk about here is the parade. They don't talk about the baseball game. They are here for the fun. They're here to celebrate Cincinnati. They're here to celebrate the Cincinnati Reds. And I don't think anybody really cares if they're going to win or lose. This is all about having fun. Tens of thousands of people lining the streets of Cincinnati right now.
I know. The crowd size has not gone down at all. People stay till the very, very end. We just saw the Mercy Health Jewish Women's Imaging Mobile Mammography Van raising awareness for breast cancer and to celebrate survivors. There are some survivors walking with Mercy Health, so hats off to those ladies.
I like her sign that says no one travels alone.
That's
Amen.
true.
Amen. I think we all know somebody that has been touched by cancer in our lives. All right, this is the Mercy Health Jewish Women's Imaging Mammography VAM, as you just said.
And it does move from place to place, so people can get a mammography on the job or outside of some other building.
And in some places, free of charge.
Yes.
They come to a lot of areas where, you know, a lot of people can't afford these or they can't get to the hospital to have it, and they'll come to you. And now I love the marching bands.
I do too.
Huge fan of the marching bands. You're going to be seeing Oak Hills High School Marching Band. This is a comprehensive band program. It features 4 ensembles. It receives superior ratings for both jazz and concert bank at the Parks Musical Festival in Mason, Ohio.
And get ready to see a sea of band members. If you know anything about Oak Hills High School, you should know that it's probably one of the biggest high schools in all of Cincinnati with thousands of students, so much so that they have a number of different professors for every section of the school, and it is run really great.
How many people were in your high school? Was it like this?
No. 390 maybe?
Yeah.
Small, very small.
Yeah, so at least you're one of the smarter ones.
What? No.
It's only 390.
I was still at the bottom. To my parents' disappointment.
That is not true. That is not true.
But you see the size of the band here at Oak Hills High School, all playing in unison.
Let's listen.
Now, one person who's doing a great job of making it feel like you are here is our very own Ken Baker, who's along the parade route catching up with fans.
Yes, I am right here with Nellie, right? Nellie, is that your name?
Nellie, yeah.
Nellie, how do you like the parade so far?
I love it.
What's your favorite part?
The bands.
The fans. Did you sneak out of work today, or you just called off?
I requested off.
Me too. Tomorrow I request off because I'm going to be exhausted. How are you guys enjoying the parade? Are you pumped?
Yes.
What's your favorite part?
All the bands.
Wait, aren't you guys supposed to be in school?
No.
No. What school do you guys go to?
Loveland.
Shout out to Loveland, right? You enjoying it, sir?
Enjoyed the parade.
You're enjoying the parade. Ma'am, I heard you screaming, kicking it with Ken, so I guess you're Fox 19, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what's your favorite thing about the parade here?
I think just out here being with the people, the kids, seeing all of the new businesses that's around or that's been around. So I'm just excited to see what's around me for the most part.
Are all these are your kids here? Yes, I am now. All right, Trisha and Rob, it is a big old party down here. They are jamming. They're going. Let's grab this guy in the parade. What business is this?
8K Construction.
Okay, what are you guys about? Tell me real quick.
Community development and low-income housing.
So you guys are kind of at the tail end of the parade. How long have you been waiting down there?
A couple hours.
Couple hours, but it's worth it, right? The crowd's still hype?
Yeah, it's great.
All right, Trisha, Rob, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Ken, thank you very much. We were talking about how we are on the tail end of the parade. We probably have 50 floats left.
Yeah.
And we're wondering, like, how long have they been waiting in line? Because the first float is already done with the parade and probably has gone on home.
Yeah, they're probably already at Chick-fil-A over in Newport eating, and this one's still going on. You know, we talk about people that in their first experiences going with the parade. Now, Ken Baker, he's local.
Yes.
He's a local kid. So for him to be a part of this parade also, what an experience. I mean, it's just like Jody, me. I mean, you're like a local. Rob, we consider you local. You've been here so long.
We're looking at Xavier University right now, and we had breaking news earlier this week because Richard Pitino, Rick Pitino's son, has been named the new head basketball coach at Xavier University. So twice a year, we're going to see father and son face off, and one of those games will be here in Cincinnati.
And, you know, I think everybody in basketball has a lot of respect, coaching-wise, for Rick Pitino.
Yes.
He's one of the best coaches around. His son, if he just, like, sprinkles a little bit on him, it's just going to be fantastic for Muskies.
I agree with you.
I can't wait to see what they become. All right, so they're going to be coming up on
the Samuel Adams Cincinnati Tap Room. They brew it probably 3 blocks from where Tricia and I are standing. So if you walk along Central Parkway near Findlay Market, you'll smell hops in the air, and that's where they brew Sam Adams. It's brewed there since 1997. And we see their entry right here.
Yeah, the next float up is McDonald's of Greater Ohio, and Cincinnati is Ronald McDonald House. We talk about that a lot, and we shouldn't forget that they are here, and they do wonderful things. They're the largest Ronald McDonald House in the world.
I didn't know that.
They can care for 177 families every single night, including parents, children, all receiving outpatient treatment, siblings, family members. That is a place that is just a blessing to have. If you have a little one that's going through anything, you can stay at the Ronald McDonald House. They take care of you.
We heard from a parent yesterday who was at the Ronald McDonald House in Cincinnati to present a check. He rode across the country on his bike to raise money for the Ronald McDonald House, and he said when his daughter was sick, he stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in Philadelphia and stayed there for 250 days. He lost his job, but he didn't have to worry about where he was staying and what he was eating, and that took so much pressure off.
But you think about that. You put yourself in that person's situation. You're not only caring about your child that's under care and you don't know how they're doing, but the money associated with putting yourself up in a hotel. It's not like you can stay in the room with them.
Correct.
So the Ronald McDonald House is a gift.
We just saw the Reading Marching Band recently performed at the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee. They also performed at the Flying Pig Marathon. It consists of 43 members.
They look great.
They do.
Also, I think it is amazing when I look at their faces and I see how young some of these kids are, and they're fantastic.
I know.
That kid must be like 11 years old.
We have much more of the 105th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade right here on Fox 19 Now, so stay with us.
Welcome back to Fox 19's coverage of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Rob and I have the opportunity, and we're lucky enough to be right here at the corner of Liberty and Race, which is now Jim Scott Way, covering. This is pretty much the beginning of the parade, and we think we're probably 2/3 through at this point.
In our location is probably a block and a half south of Findlay Market. Coming through right now is NKU, and I want Tricia to comment on this since you sit on its board.
Well, let me tell you, we just did a story the other day on James Votruba, who passed away recently.
Yeah.
And he was one of the presidents of NKU who did so much for Northern Kentucky University. When I went to school in the early 80s, well, I guess it was the late 80s. I graduated high school in 87. And NKU was kind of like, it was a concrete jungle. That's what they call it. It was all concrete. It was kind of like, wasn't very aesthetically pleasing. Jim Votruba came in there and changed all that. Made like the green spaces, just did a great job. And now you got NKU and it's on the map.
It's a D1 school.
It is. That's changed a lot too.
Yeah.
And even Ken Baker did a story just the other day on their baseball team, and here they are walking in the parade today.
Yes, I was syncing up the place, Trisha. I could not bat. If you remember, it was horrible. All right, I've got Katie Short-Thompson. Yes. Is it Dr. Katie Short-Thompson?
It's Katie.
It's just Katie. How pumped are you for NKU? I'm there like all the time.
I love it. I couldn't be happier to be home leading the institution I love.
And you guys are increasing sports to get more students there. Tell me about that effort. Is it working?
It's working. We have a lot more students coming to join us for 6 new varsity D1 sports. It's fantastic to be surrounded by this talent. Love being in North Nation.
Right now, there are so many people watching. Right now, sell it. Why are we going to NKU if I have not decided?
NKU is the best value around. We have affordable education with faculty who care, delivering incredible educational experiences that lead to great careers. Couldn't be happier to be there. Love, love, love working with and for our students.
I love it. I love Corey Betts, too. She's a great PR person. You know who else went to NKU? Our very own Tricia Mackey, and look what the kind of star she has become.
Me too, baby. Class of, yes. And I'll tell you, you talk about that that education, not only that was the place that I could afford. I put myself through college.
No, I know.
Because it's so affordable. It still is. It's a great place to go to college.
We're looking at the Cincinnati Zoo. Before I moved to Cincinnati, I was watching this morning show on FX. It was called Breakfast Time. And they would send out road warriors, like 5 reporters just all over the country. And one of them was at the Cincinnati Zoo. And she was like going, this is the sexiest zoo in the country.
Seriously?
Yes, because Cincinnati Zoo has such a great program in terms of keeping species alive.
Oh, sure.
So that's why it's called the sexiest zoo.
And not only that, but the botanical garden.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to steal some of that bamboo.
I'm sure they can give it to you.
Steve Horsemeyer has it all over his house. He says it just goes crazy.
Yeah, it grows like a weed.
It does. That's what I hear.
We're also looking at St. Veronica Catholic School. Each student is wearing a unique costume that represents a notable person, restaurant, or tradition related to Cincinnati. We see a big boy. Oh. We see a lot of reds.
I love this.
We see a giraffe. Some kind of Luigi. Maybe that's La Rosa's.
Yeah, you got a safari. You got somebody. What is that guy? A cheese coney, maybe?
Yeah, he looks like a cheese coney. That was definitely a great idea.
I like that. All right, America's River Roots Festival happening October 9th through the 12th. Fusion of music, cuisine, and culture.
Yeah,
right here. This is a lot of fun.
It's going to celebrate Cincinnati's river history, which happens on October 8th through the 12th. And I know you can sign up for some of the cruises already. And then what you're looking at now is the Wapakoneta Optimus Lawnmower Drill Team, 12 members with custom push-type lawnmowers. They participated in the lawnmower for the past 24 years.
Now, they put on a whole show, right? Formed in 1987. They've marched in nearly 200 different parades. If you see them right now, I mean, they all have the choreography down with their lawnmowers. Fantastic. Fantastic fan favorite right now.
And then now we're looking at the American Side Saddle Association, a nonprofit educational organization formed for the purpose of showing that side saddle is alive and well.
Oh, I think that'd be tough.
So when you see them, most people assume that they're just sitting side saddle on that saddle, but there's actually a hook where you put that leg around so you can hold yourself in the seat.
Can you side saddle?
No. I just saw a picture of it. I'm going down a terrible rabbit hole on the internet one day.
You're up until 4 a.m. looking at side saddles.
Exactly. I wonder how they stay on there.
Watching TV.
We're looking at the Cincinnati Independent Film Festival. We should mention that a film shot or starring Robert De Niro, Alto Kings, was filmed entirely here in Cincinnati, and it hit movie theaters last Friday.
Yeah, Home for Independent Film. They were established in 2018, and they're consistently rated nationally by the Film Freeway as a top 100 film festival.
You know, I was telling this story to Tricia earlier this week because that movie starring Robert De Niro was directed by Barry Levinson. And Barry Levinson, when I interviewed him years ago, told me that his kid was born here in Cincinnati, Ohio, because it was the time that he was filming Rain Man. So he must have had his wife here, and she had the baby here in town.
Every time I go over the suspension bridge, I think of that movie.
I know.
Every single, or go to Pompilio's in Newport.
Keep it right here. We have much more of the 105th Findlay Market Opening Day Parade still ahead on Fox 19 now.
Hey, welcome back, and here's something dear to our hearts.
Yes.
SPCA of Cincinnati, and there are many adoptable dogs. They're dressed up today, and this, by the way, is the oldest humane society in the state, 152 years old. And you know, we feature rescues every Wednesday on Fox 19 now at 4 o'clock. We're big into giving these homes to these dogs. They all deserve it. And you know what? You need a dog again.
Oh, she's always pushing this dog on me.
A dog.
The thing is I know a lot of people like designer dogs or want a Bernedoodle or what have you. You can find them at shelters.
You can.
Right, much cheaper option than going out and going to a breeder.
Yeah, so we just adopted our fourth.
Yes.
Right, our fourth little one.
Named him Chewbacca.
Chewbacca, we call him Chewy. And it's funny how, like, as your kids started leaving my house, so I'll never be an empty nester because I just replaced every child with a dog. It's working out very well for me.
Just so you know, everybody knows that's what you're doing.
I'll never be alone. Dogs are great. They really are. They're great. All right, so this is Lynchburg Clay Marching Mustangs right here. Consists of students in grades 8 through 12 at the Lynchburg Clay local schools. Back in 2021, by the way, Rob, the Marching Mustangs qualified for the OMEA State Marching Band Finals for the first time since 1989.
Now we're taking a look at Michael Matthews' float passing us by. He's a Super Bowl champion, New York Giants, but went to Sycamore High School. You see him decked out in all his Reds uniform.
You know, one of the things that's really nice, kind of on a side note as we're here, because Rob and I, and then Joe was here with us all morning, but he's down at the stadium right now, going to be doing his show. We're going to see him in just a little bit. But as we're standing here on the corner, we're kind of like up on a platform, so we're kind of hard to miss. But the amount of people that come over and say hi, we love that.
We do.
And please, if you come over, stop over. If you're here, if you're listening, and maybe you're watching on your phone, stop over, say hi, grab a picture if you can, and tag us. We'd love to share it. And share all of your photos. If you have any photos or any videos that you have taken today, throughout the day, of any of the parade festivities, or if you're going to the game later, make sure that you tag us on fox19.com so that we can share the photos all day long. You go to fox19.com/pics, P-I-C-S, and send them to us.
We get stopped so many times where people are like, can you put my kids on TV? Well, this is the way you do it. Take a picture of your kids at opening day and send it to us, and we'll put it on TV. We definitely will put it on our website as well.
Here is Our Daily Bread Soup Kitchen and Social Center. Helps a lot of people facing homelessness and food insecurity all the way back since 1985. The largest soup kitchen in Cincinnati. And it shares space as well with Findlay Market. Rob, when you go down to Findlay Market, what's your one go-to?
I go to that Mediterranean, I think it's Dean's Mediterranean Foods.
Yeah.
I also go to Madison's. The guy who owns it knows Steve Horstmeyer. That's the thing about going to Findlay Market.
They're all locals.
They're all locals, right?
They're locals.
This is the Carriage House Farm. It's the second oldest farm in Ohio. They have live music 3 nights a week during the summer, so make sure you go check them out. And as you can see, they have a connection with Mad Tree, which is also local. Now we're looking at the Beltair Park, Cincinnati. Employees are walking along, and they're going to carry themed fatheads, Reds, racing, gaming, dining. At Beltair Park, Cincinnati, there's live horse racing April through September. So that's getting ready to start back up.
You hear them singing?
Yes.
Don't give if they don't win, it's a shame. Oh my goodness, look at the Clydesdales.
They're beautiful.
Wow. I'd say, can you get any idea of how large these animals are? I mean, look at the size. So these are 5'8", 5'9" women and 6 feet men walking alongside, and they just barely come up to where their legs are.
It is
impressive.
Impressive.
Wow, that's awesome. That is the Weikart Realtors RE 1790 and Wildfire Equestrian. And that's pulled by those 6 horses. They're a full-service real estate company, by the way, and they have offices located in Westchester, Linwood, and in my neck of the woods in Fort Thomas, Kentucky.
All right, let's go to Ken Baker. He's hanging out with the Sin City Shakers.
All right, who's Sin City Shakers? What do you guys do, right?
Yeah, we dance and parade, just have a great time.
Well, can you want to show me some moves real quick? We'll do a little kicking. Ken, what am I doing?
Even if we can't hear you, I hope we can see you. You have great moves, Ken.
Yeah, he's having a good time with the Cincinnati Shakers, the Sin City Shakers. Right now, they're dancing to Justin Timberlake, but they also do dance to baseball-themed music. So thank you to the Sin City Shakers who have shown up today.
Yeah, watch them. I mean, they look great. So many people showed up for today, and they've been waiting hours, all of the preparation that's gone into this to make this one heck of a show and one wonderful opening day parade. And we're going to show you much more. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
You're taking a look at Steel Case, 30 years taking part in the opening day parade. It provides interior furnishings for Cincinnati businesses. But if you saw the front of that truck, they had a huge picture of Pete Rose there. And I think considering what we've been through, it's appropriate to have his face in the front of that truck.
I think he's well represented in this parade today.
I
Good
agree.
to see. So this is the Bright Star Athletics, and boy, they have a lot of people here. They perform stunts, tumbling, dancing, and they're going to be doing it all throughout this parade as well. They started back in 2000. They had tumbling classes, taken over by a local mom with just a dream of her daughter learning how to tumble and cheer, and they have actually grown over the years. So if you're looking for a place to maybe take your little one to learn a little bit about tumbling, maybe be a cheerleader, be on a dance team, this might be the place for you.
And now we're taking a look at Bobcat Enterprises, sells and services construction equipment. Started the business in 1975, celebrating 50 years. Managed by the second generation of the family, it has 9 locations, 3 of them in Cincinnati. And you can see the Bobcats decorated with Cincinnati flags, Cincinnati Reds flags, and the American flag as well.
All these little tumblers here. Look at how they're not only dressed adorably, they have all of their parents there, and I love the fact that there's so many parents walking with their kids. You know, it's because this is such a family event. Even the ones in the crowd right now. So many families here.
And you're starting to hear music once again. The music is coming to us from the mighty marching bison. That's Belmont High School. It's located in Dayton, Ohio, and it's comprised of students in grades 7 through 12. So it does include middle school students as well.
Hey, I got some candy. Okay, what's the name of this team, this kid? Oh, this kid's adorable, throwing stuff at us.
I don't know.
I got lunch. Hey, how are you guys?
And then after the mighty marching bison band of Belmont High School, now we see the Knights of Columbus Assembly 246. It's a long-standing Catholic men's fraternal organization. Now they support a lot of charities, including the Special Olympics, Pregnancy Care Center, and the Gabolt Home for Children, and of course the values of the Catholic Church.
Listen in right now because the mighty marching bison band
sound great
right in front of us. We were talking about Findlay Market earlier. We've been talking about it a lot. It's kind of one of those hidden gems in Cincinnati. It's amazing to me the amount of people that say they've never been there.
Yeah.
There's parking also, so that's one of the things I think that scares people away. That they don't know where to park.
There is limited parking,
but there is some behind it.
There is some.
Yeah,
there is some. Absolutely.
So this is entry 148. This is Cincinnati Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. They originated over 100 years ago. Small group of men who made mops and brooms. The agency helps more than 4,000 people annually just adapt to vision loss.
And now we're taking a look at Corporex. It's the 149th entry into the parade. It's located in Covington, Kentucky. Develops world-class hotels, Class A offices, luxury residence, and mixed-use developments. The float is a tribute to Northern Kentucky's skyline, and we should mention that the development we were talking about in Newport, a lot of that is being done by Corporex.
Ken, tell us all about Yellow Ribbon, Ken.
Yes, I know, Tricia, this is near and dear to your heart. Yellow Ribbon, what do you guys do for people who don't know? I don't know why they wouldn't, but tell us.
Our mission is to support the men and women served in harm's way and remember those that don't walk off the plane.
You know, Fox 19, that's service members very special to our hearts. Tell us about some of the needs out there. I know you're working with a lot of families. Maybe their loved ones are out and serving the country.
Well, if they can send us an address, we'll send their young in a box. That's pretty simple.
What kind of stuff do you put in the box?
Well, you know, it's hard to say. There's so much stuff, but whatever you use, they'll use. Whatever you eat, they'll eat.
Okay. Anything else we should know about the Yellow Ribbon?
YellowRibbonSportsCenter.com.
I love it. Tricia, I know that you love them, and I know you've spoken for them. You've done a lot of work for them.
Yes.
Tell the people how great they are.
Second to none. Keith is a wonderful human being. He had a terrible ordeal losing his son. He was missing in action, and they finally recovered his body. And it is his tireless efforts to keep his memory alive, as well as all soldiers all over the world, by giving them those care packages.
Keeping his memory alive.
Yes.
By helping other people. The thing is I was working in the morning when they released that video of Matt Maupin, when he was making that video.
Yes.
And I remember that morning like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a horrific morning for us and definitely his family, but Keith Mopin has turned it into a positive for other people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which I think is...
And they also have scholarship dinners now. And that's going to be coming up. We'll make sure that you know all about it, but I'm actually going to be going to that again because I think that is such well-spent time. Anything at all that you can help with veterans and Keith Mopin's event, it's fantastic. Yellow Ribbon Sports Center, I love you guys.
Now, let's take a look at some of the parade entries once again, because we are coming down to the last bits of this parade. And of course, the timing of the song is appropriate as we wind down this year's Findlay Market Opening Day Parade.
Hey, Ken Baker.
Yes.
You did a nice job. What'd you think about the parade this year?
My back hurts. My dogs are barking. My feet, like it's over, for real.
You did a great job out there.
Well, thank you.
And you never held up the parade. It kept moving.
I was told, do not hold it up and do not jump on a flight. They say, just keep on, just go, keep it moving.
I saw your moves out there.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah, you had it going on, my friend.
Oh, down there, I'm like somebody's.
And now we're taking a look at the Shriners passing by. Of course, Shriners Hospital specializes in burn care, and they do a lot of great work in the community. So hats off to the Shriners Hospital and the Shriner Clowns.
They take care of a lot of kids, a lot of family.
And now we're looking at the Hamilton County Community Action Agency. It's the 60th anniversary for the organization. It offers sources for the community, including rental, utility assistance, food pantry, and recently added a diaper bank because the prices of diapers is astounding.
The price is everything is astounding, and I love the fact that we highlight so many local organizations that help so many people who need it. And there are so many of them in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky.
Have you ever heard of now the men, when they're doing the baby showers, you do a diaper shower for the men. So you bring all these diapers and beers and brewskis. Like, I love that.
That's
I was
fantastic.
doing a kick and I was like, that's a great idea.
Yeah, women like that too.
Yeah.
I was like,
you can bring
I'm
the
not
beer.
going to that.
Yeah. All right, here is the 60th anniversary. I think you just talked about this, Rob, right?
So now we're looking at 513 Relief, and then now Lighthouse Youth Family Services.
Yeah.
Now 513 Relief Bus will travel to vulnerable and underserved communities to remove barriers such as access, transportation, technology, and culturally engaging services.
All right, so we are nearing the end of this wonderful Findlay Market Opening Day Parade. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end.
What you guys have been doing this, how long is this the best one you have ever seen?
Either 105 or 160 years. We've been doing it all this time.
So the sad part of this is when you see the police vehicle with the lights on, because you know that is the end of the Findlay Market Opening Day Parade.
You have a favorite?
Still, Bronson Arroyo.
Bronson Arroyo was so cool. Ken, what did you think of that?
Good. No, that was amazing.
He sounded great.
Yes. He had an entire concert on that platform.
And that would be hard to sing, moving, all the sound around. I mean, we've got these things on, he was
Let me tell you, he was coming in, he was going out, he's hitting his head. He had a tambourine in his hand.
Yeah.
He was getting it. He looked great.
As we mentioned, the parade is coming to an end, but our coverage of Reds Opening Day, we have many more hours to come.
Yeah, we're very proud this year here at Fox 19 to be covering so many Cincinnati Reds games, including the biggest one of the season, which is Reds Opening Day.
Yeah, so we're going to have a special that's going to appear after we wrap things up here at the Opening Day Parade. We're going to carry the game. We're going to have FanDuel's after-game special, and then we have one as well.
Yeah, then we have post-game, and then we have the 10 o'clock news later on tonight. We have more highlights at that point. Guys, Ken, great one?
No, great one, yes. And seriously, it is an honor to do this with you guys, my news heroes. Like, this is a big deal. Huge deal for me.
He's like, Grandma, Grandpa.
I know.
We love you, Grandma, Grandpa.
He's like complimented us and took us out at the same time.
I know.
That does it from us. We love hosting the opening day parade every single day, or every single year. It's meaningful for us. Hopefully it's meaningful for you, but our coverage does not stop.
Joe, Jeremy, down at the ballpark, how you guys doing?
Well, hi, Rob and Tricia. Good to hear your voices again after leaving the parade now down here at the ballpark. And we are going to take you all the way up until 3 o'clock right here on Fox 19 now when the FanDuel Sports Network pregame show starts. That'll lead you up to first pitch. That leaves us with a nice chunk here to really geek out on the baseball, this team, the expectations, and the so many stars here in Cincinnati.
A lot of features to show you, and also Spencer Steer demanded basically that he play on opening day. We just talked with him. All that coverage right here on Fox 19 now on opening day in Cincinnati. Stay with us.